Sorry about that.
Dive down and see.
My mother called, and then I really, really had to go to the bathroom.
It is good to see you, my friend.
Yeah, let's just talk to her.
Handy resource indeed, your field guide.
Hello, Natty. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. I was there, and I saw what happened with Rookwood and Harlow at the Three Broomsticks. I have been worried about you.
I'm all right at the moment.
If you don't mind my asking, why were they looking for you?
They want something that Professor Fig and I found at Gringotts.
When were you at Gringotts?
Just before we came to Hogwarts. In fact, it's why I was late to the sorting ceremony. A portkey brought us there after the dragon attacked our carriage.
What on earth?
There's one more thing. It's a bit odd, if I'm honest. Professor Fig says I have a rare connection to a powerful form of ancient magic.
What does that mean?
I'm still learning, but I can see traces of it, and I've cast magic I can't otherwise explain. I know that's a lot to absorb.
It is. And I will have more questions. For now, it is safe to say that Rookwood and Harlow are a threat to both of us. To all of us. Which is why I wanted to speak to you. Everyone has been talking about you defending Hogsmeade from that troll attack. And I shall never forget watching Sorona stand up to Rookwood and Harlow in the Three Broomsticks. Both of you have inspired me to take a stand of my own.
What sort of stand?
Men like Rookwood and Harlow are the reason my mother and I left Matibililand. I am not going to sit by and watch them destroy my new home.
Good. Rookwood and Harlow are a dangerous pair. And you should know that Rookwood is in league with Ranrock.
I had heard they were seen in Hogsmeade together. All the more reason they must be stopped. Rumor has it that Theophilus Harlow runs Rookwood's day-to-day operations. Taking him down would cripple Rookwood's entire enterprise.
That may be true, but shouldn't Officer Singer handle someone like Harlow?
I spoke with her. She was polite, but perhaps understandably would not discuss details with a student. I overheard some of Rookwood's lot talking about a massive poaching operation that Harlow is planning. I was thinking that we could investigate a bit, try to get the evidence that Officer Singer needs.
All right, but how?
I am going to watch and listen, find out precisely what Harlow is up to. I shall reach out when I know more. In the meantime, remember, I am here if you need me.
Thank you, Natty.
Be on your guard.
I beg your pardon! How dare you threaten me?
What's going on here?
I never thought Ramrock's loyalists would go this far.
Revelio.
I don't have time to argue. I've told you repeatedly not to stray far from home. Especially when I'm inside with your little sister.
But you should see them, Mummy. They're beautiful. These horses with wings.
Oh, that's enough. I'm too tired for your stories today. You stay right here where I can see you.
I never thought.
Why don't you do some more drawings for me?
Pardon me, is everything all right?
Hardly. I've just lost my business and almost my life. You'd best look elsewhere for wares. I've nothing to sell now. I never thought it'd come to this. Be on your guard. Ranrock and his loyalists will spare no one.
They attacked you.
Oh, Ranrock has no patience for goblins who won't join him. While I too would like to see goblin kind treated by wizards as equals, bloodshed is not the answer. When I said as much, they turned on me, struck me till I nearly passed out. Took my carts, my belongings, even that which is most precious to me, my paintings.
Has Ranrock's lot ever attacked you like this before?
They've been taunting and threatening me for a while now. But they've always believed that violence is the only way to get what they want. Things have taken a much darker turn of late. Ranrock is getting more powerful, and his loyalists know it. They feel untouchable. Ranrock assumed that all goblins would agree to follow him, but he was wrong. Many of us would like a diplomatic end to the discord with wizard kind.
You mentioned that your paintings were taken. Are you a painter?
I am. It's my calling, though most would think it an unusual path for a goblin. Most of my family work in metal, or associated with Gringotts. I'd wager my finest brush that Ranrock's lot have no appreciation for any of my work, and it'll be tossed aside for kindling. Without my carts and my livelihood, who knows when I'll be able to paint again.
I'm sorry this happened to you. I shall certainly keep an eye out for your carts.
That is very kind of you, but I think they took them to their camp southwest of here, just past some ruins. Too dangerous to try and retrieve them. I did enchant the carts to return to me if I ever lost them, however. Slim though the chances may be, I'm holding out hope that some of what was taken is returned to me. It was nice meeting you. I wish it had been under better circumstances.
Yeah, we'll go do this now. Why not?
After what Ranrock did to that goblin banker at Gringotts, I shouldn't be surprised at what happened to Arn.
Fucking spiders. Yeah, it's a little too far to walk right now.
They must have come this way. Think!
I've no idea who it is you think I might have seen. I've been busy with my research. I do not have time to...
Victor Rookwood don't give a doxy's nip back your time. Oi! Speak of the devil. Mr. Rookwood would like a word with you.
A student? You can't be serious.
Enough out of you.
Leave her alone.
Stupefy!
You should never have come in here,
I'll watch the light go out of your eyes.
The collection section of Field Guide has been updated with a new enemy type. You may learn valuable insights on enemies such as their weaknesses to certain spells.
Find me himself.
Please stop!
What on earth just happened? I've never been accosted in such a manner, and so close to Hogwarts.
Are you all right?
I am, thanks in no small part to your excellent defensive skills. Care to tell me why 2 Ashwinders were ready to dispatch me to get to you?
Ashwinders?
Victor Rookwood's thieves and extortionists, his little cronies. They seemed quite keen on you.
It's a long story, but thank you for your help.
Well, you've avoided them for the moment. Priya warned me things were getting dangerous. Best get moving on my research before they return.
You're a researcher?
Nora Treadwell at your service, historian and archaeologist specializing in Merlin's work and life.
Merlin? Of the legend of King Arthur?
The very same. Merlin attended Hogwarts, you know, and I'm studying some curious fixtures he left here centuries ago.
Fixtures?
These vine-covered pillars, dozens of them, all around the area. I've taken to calling them the Trials of Merlin. I believe he created them as a diversion for his fellow Slytherins. He was terribly fond of puzzles and enigmas.
I can see why you're so interested in Merlin. I'd be keen to know more about the trials.
Well then, I'll let you in on a little secret. No one has yet managed to figure out how they work. But I believe I have just unlocked a crucial clue. I suspect that Mallowsweet is an important component in getting the trials to work.
Mallowsweet?
Versatile herb. Merlin repeatedly mentioned it in his writings. I had just arrived to test my theory when I was so rudely interrupted. You see, each swirl in Merlin's writing has a symbol in the center. That started me thinking, what if...
The Mallowsweet is meant to be placed at the center of the symbols.
Precisely. Would you care to do the honors? We can see what comes of our little hypothesis.
Revelio. This trunk.
Yes, take plenty, even if you already have some.
I have the Mallowsweet.
Lovely. Now, notice the vines on these pillars here, as well as a stone swell on the ground. Each trial has these features. Place the Mallowsweet on the swell, and we'll see what happens. My word! Did you see that? The vines disappeared.
What should I do now? Incendio!
Oh, beard!
The flames make the pile sink.
Beard, how beautiful! What a day! I can hardly believe it.
I take it we can call that a success?
We can indeed. However, I now have even more questions. How does it work? I must review my notes. I may have missed something.
Are all of the trials like this one?
Oh, not precisely. Well, I think each has those telltale vines and the swirl on the ground. you should feel free to solve them as you come across them. I believe I have what I need to continue my research. My guess is that each will also require mallow sweet, which you can find in Hogsmeade should you need more. I really must be off. Such a pleasure to meet you. And do be careful out here. Now, I've got what I needed. I shall return to the safety of my notes and books.
Revelio.
A portrait in our common room wants to talk to you. It's Eldritch Diggory. He used to be the Minister for Magic, I think.
Oh, let's just fast travel. Not fucking around. Let's go to Hogwarts.
You wanted to see me, sir?
Indeed. Allow me to introduce myself. So few students know who I am these days. Eldritch Diggory, former Minister for Magic and founder of the Aura Recruitment Program, at your service. I believe you can help solve a decades-old murder, thanks to that book you found, and, in particular, its missing pages.
How do you know about the book and the pages?
We portraits hear more than you might suspect, and most of us can keep a secret. So, what say you? Surely a Hufflepuff such as yourself would be inclined to help seek long overdue justice.
I'll do whatever I can.
Wonderful. I am pleased to have been right about you. My great-niece, Helen Thistlewood, can provide you with details. She's retired now, but was a skilled aura in her day. And the unsolved murder of which I speak was her case. I often visit my portrait in her home, in the nearby hamlet of Upper Hogsfield. Shall I tell her to expect you?
How could a few pages of a book help her solve an old case?
A boy disappeared with those pages, but they never found the body. A girl was convicted of his murder nonetheless. It seems those pages could exonerate her somehow. My great-niece can tell you more.
Can you tell me more about your great-niece?
Cream of the crop when it comes to auras. A star pupil here, and then an exemplary servant to the ministry. And her spark hasn't diminished one bit in her retirement. She and I often chat about old cases and our glory days. No offense, but it's nice to get away from the students and converse with someone who's familiar with my legacy.
When were you the Minister for Magic?
Over 100 years ago. 1733 to 1747, to be precise. The stories I could tell you. Didn't have the chance to do all that I could. I was in the midst of reforming Azkaban when my life was cut short by dragon pox. I was sneezing sparks to the bitter end.
I shall go and see her right away.
Brilliant. With what I suspect is your knack for hard work and her keen mind, both mysteries may be solved sooner than you think. I shall see you there, soon I hope.
Until we get a broom, we're gonna be fast traveling a lot. These are long runs. Alright, so let's go. Do Hogsmeade map real quick. So I'm just kind of looking at this map here. Okay.
I haven't a clue why there's such a fuss over poaching. There's enough beef flesh for everyone. This is almost too...
The beasts are safer now. Revelio. This place has seen better days.
Welcome to Upper Hogsfield. Charming hamlet. Don't tell the residents of Lower Hogsfield I said that.
Revelio. This must be the place Minister Diggory mentioned. Helen lives around here somewhere.
Dude, Doug Bog sighting, be careful.
Here you are. I'm pleased to see you took my advice.
This one and the badge. Okay, the Thistle and the badge. Helen Thistlewood, Reflections of a Former Auror. Retirement isn't what I expected. I enjoy the leisure time, of course, but I do miss the excitement of hunting magical fugitives. And you're not supposed to admit that you actually enjoy the turmoil associated with the job, but how can you feel anything other than exhilaration when chasing a Ukrainian iron belly through a Muggle city and then obliterating all the Muggles who saw you? Or forwarding a dark wizard's plot to take over the ministry with an army of Chinese chomping cabbages, using only a single basket of bouncing bulbs. When the ministry finally makes all of my old cases public, my neighbors will never look at me the same way again. Old Madam Thistlewood down the lane is the one who put that nasty brute so-and-so in Azkaban. For now I can merely insinuate, lest I divulge something confidential. I would hate to force my former colleagues into locking me away in Azkaban, not an appealing thought. Well, I suppose I should check in on my garden. The bluebells have been struggling all season.
Revelio.
Letter from Eddie Thistlewood. Dear sister, it's Some time since we've heard from you. How are things in the ministry? We continue to think of you and hope that you're doing well. You'll be happy to know that we've all made our peace with your decision to become an Auror. As dangerous as it is, you must live your life and follow your path. You are doing so in service of the wizarding world, and I am proud to call you my sister, or you sister. I must inform you of something that you may find curious. It seems a troll has taken up residence in the train tunnel near town. The poor thing's most certain to learn a tragic lesson about the fundamental velocity of locomotives. Right soon, Eddie Thistlewood.
Revelio.
The Thistle and the Badge. Helen Thistlewood, Reflections of a Former Auror. I have a lot of time these days to reflect upon my career. I wonder if the good we did balances out the mistakes we made along the way. Did we always catch our criminals? No. Did we sometimes put away the wrong person? It's possible. Is that an acceptable risk when it comes to preserving the well-being of the wizarding world at large? I'd like to think so, but then again, I'm not an innocent witch moldering away in Azkaban. If I were, then perhaps I should feel differently. It is a quandary without a solution, or at least one that I am likely to solve. This is the problem with retirement. It leaves one with too much time to dwell upon bygone problems, but there's nothing one can do about it. Oh, and my bluebell's died. The Thistle and the Badge. Helen Thistlewood, Reflections of a Former Auror. I'm still dwelling upon my big hypothetical from the other day. I always made certain that I could defend my decision before the wizard mock, should the needs arise. I was required to do so on this rare occasions, and it was never a pleasant experience, no matter how confident I was. Despite what some believe, the ministry is far more omnipotent, and when I hung up my badge, I left behind quite a few unsolved cases. If I had all the time in the world, I doubt I could solve them all. But should the opportunity arise to revisit one and correct any mistakes I made, I will certainly take it. That's the only way to rest easy about my career. Never hesitate to fix mistakes, especially if they are yours to begin with. I fear that our haste is to mete out justice, we may inadvertently become the vehicle for injustice. I fear that, especially for myself, I could be wrong, but I doubt it. Oh, and I through with gardening. I need a new hobby. Alright.
Madam Thistlewood, I met your great-uncle in his portrait in my common room. He sent me to speak to you.
I'm pleased you came. Uncle Eldritch believes the book you found and its missing pages may be relevant to an unsolved case from my time as an Auror.
Very well. I'm listening.
Decades ago, a student named Richard Jackdaw disappeared after going to meet a girl named Anne. They never found his body. When his headless ghost appeared briefly in Hogsmeade, wholly unaware of how he died, Anne was convicted of his murder and sent to Azkaban. It was in large part due to the testimony of a girl called Apollonia Black. Jealous of Anne, I think.
That sounds terrible, but I'm not sure how I can help.
Anne's alibi was somewhat labyrinthine. She said Jackdaw promised her adventure following a map he found on some pages he'd stolen from Peeves.
And you think Peeves ripped those pages from the book I found in the restricted section?
If my great-uncle is to be believed, yes. At least that's what the portraits at Hogwarts suspect. Anne insisted that Jackdaw had asked her to follow the map with him, but only after she solved a series of puzzles he'd prepared. Odd way to woo a girl. She swears she never even solved the first puzzle, so they didn't meet. Jackdaw's ghost vanished almost as soon as he appeared. Without Jackdaw's puzzle, pages, or remains, Anne was sent to Azkaban based solely on Apollonia's spurious testimony.
I don't understand. What can I do to help?
I believe Anne may have solved the first puzzle by now, but after spending time in Azkaban, she's a shadow of her former self. She won't speak to anyone she doesn't trust, and she trusts no one. If you, a student with a connection to the pages, like Jackdaw had, spoke to Anne, she might reveal new information.
What a horrible story. If you think I can help, I'll come with you.
This is wonderful news. You are to be commended for your
I am
kindness
kind of
and
excited
bravery.
for this.
Fortunately, being a retired Auror has its benefits.
we can apparate right to her. I've escorted ministers, professors, and many others to that blasted place. Never a student, I'll admit, but I will keep you safe.
Can you tell me more about Apollonia Black?
Wretched, vindictive girl, that one. Apollonia claimed that Anne threatened to kill the boy after he broke her heart. The Black family's power over certain people in the Ministry, along with the fact that Anne is Muggle-born, sealed her fate.
I'd like to know more about Anne.
That poor soul never was the brightest girl, and that lack of wit proved to be her undoing.
I half suspect Jackdaw and Apollonia were merely toying with her. Who could have known he'd end up dead?
She's not held up well in Azkaban. In some ways, she blames me for not proving her innocence. I'd like to clear her name if we can.
You said Jackdaw's ghost appeared briefly, then vanished. Where do you think he went?
I have no idea. Evidently, he was always a bit restless, going on and on about adventure. If I had to guess, he tired of Scotland and is somewhere on the other side of the globe by now.
Alright, give me just a second here and give him something to drink. 1 second. Alright, I'm back.
Very well. Let's go.
Steady yourself. We'll apparate together. Don't worry, I've never splinched anyone.
Do take care now, and tread lightly in that horrible place.
We'll be there in but a moment.
Okay, I'm pretty excited for this. I know it's just a quick walk down the hallway, but... They really should have done more with Dementors, though. She's a rabbit.
That ought to keep them at bay for now. Though, be aware, you may feel a wave of despair. It will pass.
Thank you for the warning.
This really is a dismal place, but we'll be out of here soon enough. Now follow me. The Dementors won't harm us now. Still, be careful.
I never thought I'd see the inside of Azkaban for myself.
Nasty Dementors. Not even I could convince the Ministry to send them off. There's no need for such monsters.
Careful around, Anne.
been here a lot longer than the rest of us.
Doesn't look like a very comfy cell, does it? Is that a ship bucket?
I had my wand. I'd...
You don't scare me, young cur. They teach you so little of what you should know at Hogwarts.
I'm here. Tell me what you want. You're giving me the come hither look and waving me over.
That witch you're with has a dark cloud over her. I can feel it.
Has someone come to feed me? Is someone there?
No one at school's going to believe this.
Now remember, Anne has been here a long time. The Dementors aren't kind. Have patience and speak to her quietly and respectfully.
Are you Anne?
Who's there? Who speaks to me? Is that death finally come for me?
I'm a student from Hogwarts. I found the book that you said would exonerate you.
Ah, the book, the book. No one would look. None of the mages found the pages. Methinks the feckless knave meandered to his cave. My fate was surely sealed in Upper Hoggyfield.
Are you